Dear students, has this ever happened to you? Someone speaks to you in English and everything you've ever studied just disappears. Your brain goes completely white, like a computer that crashed, and you're standing there, smiling, nodding, and inside you're thinking, I have absolutely no idea what this person just said. You've been studying English for months, maybe years, and in the one moment that actually mattered, it was all just gone. That feeling, that specific, horrible, embarrassing feeling, that's what today is about. Because today, we're going to fix it. Permanently.
Hello, my dear students. Hope everything is fine, and it's your grand welcome to Easy English Space Podcast. I'm your sweetest host, Julia.
Yes, Brain with Beauty. And don't forget, I'm Henry, the smartest host. And if you're new, hello, come in, sit down. This is the kind of English learning that doesn't feel like English learning. That's kind of our whole thing.
It really is. And if you've been with us before, you already know. This is your space. No classroom energy, no boring drills, just two people talking about something they genuinely care about, which is helping you finally, actually speak this language.
And today's topic, we've been wanting to do this one for a while, the 6-month fluency plan. Not a theory, not a vague idea, an actual plan, month by month, with the stuff most people never tell you.
Okay, I want to start with something real, because I think before we talk about the plan itself, we need to talk about why so many people spend years studying English and still can't hold a conversation, because the answer is genuinely surprising.
Go on.
Most people are learning English for the wrong goal. They're learning to be correct, not to communicate. And those two things are so different, they might as well be completely different skills.
Actually, say that again, because that's important.
Correct versus communicate. When you're learning to be correct, your brain is always checking. Am I saying this right? Did I use the right tense? Is my pronunciation perfect? And all that checking, it freezes you. It creates that blank moment Henry described. But when you're learning to communicate, your only question is, did the other person understand me? That's it. That's the whole bar.
And fluency lives on the communicate side, not the correct side.
Exactly. Perfect English and fluent English are not the same thing. And the 6-month plan we're about to share, it's built around communication from day one.
All right, month 1. And Julia, I want to warn our listeners right now, what I'm about to say is going to sound wrong.
Ooh, okay, I'm nervous. Go ahead.
Month 1, I want you to not study vocabulary.
Wait, what?
Don't open a vocabulary list. Don't download a flashcard app. Don't write words in a notebook with translations next to them.
Henry, that's what everyone does in month 1.
I know, and that's why most people plateau in month 2 and never understand why. Here's what I want you to do instead. In month 1, I want you to listen massively, extensively, like it's your job. Podcasts, English YouTube, shows with subtitles, this podcast, anything. Every day, minimum 30 minutes, just let English pour into your ears.
Even if you don't understand everything?
Especially if you don't understand everything, because here's what's happening underneath. Your brain right now doesn't know how English sounds. It doesn't know the rhythm, the music of it, where sentences rise and fall, where speakers breathe. And before any vocabulary or grammar can stick, your brain needs that foundation. It needs to recognize English as a sound system first.
Oh, I've never heard it explained that way.
Babies don't start with flashcards. They spend the first year just listening, absorbing, and then one day the words just come. We skip that phase when we're older, and we pay for it later.
Okay, listeners, quick question for you. How much English do you actually hear every single day? Like, genuinely hear, not study, just hear. Write your honest answer in the comments, because I think a lot of us are going to be surprised when we count it up.
And the one thing you add to listening in month 1, you start speaking out loud to yourself, just a little. Narrate your morning. I'm making coffee. I'm running late. This is fine. Everything is fine. Out loud every day.
Everything is fine. The English learner's mantra.
Exactly. All right, listeners, let's do one right now. Repeat after us, out loud, wherever you are. Ready? Say this. I'm learning English, and I'm not going to stop.
One more time. Say it like you mean it. I'm learning English, and I'm not going to stop. Good. Hold on to that feeling.
Month 2. This is where vocabulary comes in. But here's the second thing most people get wrong.
Word lists.
Word lists, the enemy of the learner. You know why word lists don't work? Because your brain is not a spreadsheet. It doesn't store isolated words in rows and columns. It stores stories, experiences, feelings attached to moments.
Yes. There's a word I learned when I was maybe 14. I don't even remember how, but I remember I was eating breakfast and something happened that was awkward, and someone said awkward, and I laughed so hard, and now that word is burned into my brain forever. I will never forget it as long as I live.
And I would bet you've forgotten every single word from whatever list you studied that same week.
Every single one.
That's not a coincidence. The brain remembers context, emotion, story. So month 2, you learn vocabulary through content you actually enjoy, shows you actually want to watch, podcasts about topics you actually care about. The vocabulary enters your brain attached to something real, and it stays.
And the beautiful part? You don't need to know every word. There are roughly 1,000 words in English that cover about 85% of everyday conversation. 1,000. That's not scary. That's actually manageable.
If you learn 10 new words a week, in context, attached to real content, you're there in 6 months.
Which is kind of incredible when you do the math.
Write one English word in the comments that you learned recently. Just one. And tell us where you heard it. That's your month 2 practice starting right now.
Okay, month 3. Henry, I need to tell a story here, can I?
Always.
Okay, so I used to be terrified of English grammar. Terrified. Like, I had this notebook and it was full of rules. Rules for this tense, rules for that tense, exceptions to the rules, exceptions to the exceptions. And I'd sit there and study, and then I'd open my mouth and it was like the notebook just didn't exist. I'd go completely off the rules and say whatever felt right.
And what happened when you said whatever felt right?
People understood me. And that was the moment I realized I wasn't using the rules. I was using patterns I'd absorbed from listening. My brain had already learned grammar. I just didn't know it.
That's the whole thing about month 3. You don't study grammar the way school taught you. You absorb patterns by hearing them so many times they start to feel right. I'm going to sounds right. I going to sounds wrong. You don't know why, you just know.
And the most important thing to learn in month 3 isn't even individual rules. It's chunks, phrases you use as one complete unit. What do you mean? I think that's... Can you say that again? That makes sense. You don't build those word by word. You just grab the whole chunk.
Quick practice. Repeat this chunk after us. That actually makes a lot of sense. Say it fast, like one smooth thing. That actually makes a lot of sense. Now you own that chunk. Use it this week.
Okay, I want to take a breath here before month 4, because I think there's something that needs to be said, something that doesn't get said enough. And Henry brought it up to me before we started recording today, and I think it's important.
Yeah, I want to talk about something a little difficult, actually.
Tell them.
I had a student once. Well, not my student, someone I knew. He'd been studying English for about a year. He was good, honestly, better than he thought he was. And one day, he finally built up the courage to speak in English in public, in a small situation, not even a big thing. He ordered food in English at a restaurant,
Okay.
and the person behind the counter laughed at his pronunciation. Not cruelly, maybe. Maybe it was just a surprise laugh, but he heard it, and he went quiet. And I don't mean quiet in that conversation. I mean he went quiet about English for a long time. He stopped speaking, stopped practicing, just retreated.
Oh, Henry.
And the thing that gets me, still, when I think about it, is that his English wasn't bad. It was actually pretty good. The problem wasn't his English. The problem was one moment, one thoughtless reaction from one person. And I think about how many people have that story. How many people are sitting there right now who stopped speaking because of one moment like that?
If that's you, I need you to hear something. That moment was not a verdict on your English. That was just a moment. It passed, and you are allowed to keep going. You are allowed to try again.
You really are. And speaking of which, month 4.
The scary month.
The very necessary, very scary month. Speaking, real speaking, not repeating phrases, not talking to yourself in the mirror, although that's great too, actually using English with other humans.
And look, I know the fear, because I did a thing in month 4 of my own learning that I've never really told anyone. I started recording voice memos of myself speaking English, just talking about my day, about something I'd seen, whatever. And then I'd listen back.
Was it painful?
Oh, it was catastrophic. Like, I would listen and think, that is not what I sound like. That cannot be me. That's some kind of audio glitch.
We all think that.
But I kept doing it. Every week, just a little recording. And then, one night, maybe 3 months later, I was going through old memos and I played one from the very beginning. And I didn't recognize it. I kept thinking, is that really me? Because the difference was so clear, so obvious. And nobody had told me the progress was happening. I couldn't see it day by day, but it was there. The whole time it was happening.
That's why you record, not to judge yourself, to witness your own growth.
Month 4 homework? Honestly, just try it once. Record 30 seconds of yourself talking in English about anything. Save it, don't delete it. Come back to it in 60 days.
For month 4, I also want to say this. Fluency is not the absence of mistakes. Let me be completely clear. Fluency is speaking confidently in spite of mistakes. The most fluent English speakers in the world make grammatical errors every single day. Native speakers do. We all do. Mistakes are not the opposite of fluency. Silence is the opposite of fluency.
Say that again, Henry.
Silence is the opposite of fluency.
Yes. One more time, listeners. Repeat it with us. Silence is the opposite of fluency. Keep talking. Keep going. That's month 4.
Month 5, and this is the month where most people give up. And that breaks my heart, because they're so close.
It's the plateau.
The plateau. You've been working for months, you've been listening, learning vocabulary, absorbing grammar, speaking, and then one morning you wake up and it feels like nothing's changing. You feel stuck, like you've hit a ceiling. And that feeling is so discouraging that people decide the plan isn't working. They decide English just isn't for them.
And here's the truth about the plateau. The truth that almost nobody explains. The plateau isn't failure. The plateau is your brain reorganizing. It's taking everything it's absorbed, everything you've practiced, and sorting it, filing it, wiring it into long-term memory. It's like a loading screen. You can't see what's happening, but so much is happening.
And right on the other side of the plateau, almost always, is the biggest jump forward you've experienced so far. People who push through it describe it as a switch being flipped.
So if you're in month 5 and you feel stuck, here's what I want you to do. Don't study more. Change the input. Find a new show, a new podcast, a new type of content. Give your brain a slightly different angle on the same language. And keep going. Just keep going.
Just a little longer.
Always just a little longer. Okay, month 6. Henry, how do you want to start this one?
I want to start with a question. What is fluency actually for? Like, what does it mean to you? Not in general, to you, personally. Because I think a lot of learners have this image in their head. Maybe it's a British accent, maybe it's sounding like a news anchor, and they use that image as their measuring stick, and they always fall short of it.
Because it's not theirs.
It's not theirs. And here's what month 6 is really about. By month 6, you have the language. You actually have it. The vocabulary, the patterns, the ability to communicate. And what month 6 is for is finding your English, your specific, personal, U-shaped version of this language.
Oh, I love the way you said that. U-shaped English.
Because I want to be honest with you. I don't want you to sound American. I don't want you to sound British. I want you to sound like the most confident, most expressive, most interesting version of yourself in English. Your accent is part of you. Your way of phrasing things is part of you. Fluency isn't an impression of someone else. It's an expression of who you are.
And here's the thing nobody tells you about month 6. You start to have a personality in English, like genuinely, because once you stop spending all your mental energy on the mechanics of the language, there's room for you to actually be funny or clever or warm or whatever you naturally are. The language stops getting in the way.
And that moment, when you stop noticing the language and start just using it, that's fluency. That's what it feels like. Not a test score, a feeling.
I got chills just now, honestly.
Me too. Okay, let's bring it all together quickly before we wrap up. Month 1, pour English into your ears every single day and stop worrying about studying it. Month 2, learn vocabulary through content you love, in context, in stories, never in lists. Month 3, absorb grammar through patterns and chunks, not rules. Month 4, speak out loud, imperfectly, bravely, every single day. Month 5, push through the plateau. Don't stop, not now. Month 6, stop trying to sound like someone else and start sounding like you.
That's it. That's the whole thing. And I know 6 months sounds like a long time, but I want you to think about it this way. 6 months from right now, that moment is coming whether you start the plan or not. The question is only who you'll be when it arrives.
Start now. Start with today's 30 minutes of English listening. Start with one new phrase. Start with one voice memo. But start.
And if this kind of English learning is your thing, and I really hope it is, please subscribe to Easy English Space. It's literally one button, and it means we get to keep making episodes like this one, and you never miss a single one.
Now, 2 questions for you in the comments. First one, which month of this plan are you starting with? Tell us where you are right now. Beginner, month 3, somewhere in the middle? Write it below.
And second question, what is the one thing about speaking English that scares you most? Because your answers are going to shape our next episodes. Your real answers, not the safe ones, the honest ones.
And today's homework, it's simple and it's powerful. Record 30 seconds of yourself speaking English right now. Tonight, after this episode. Talk about anything. Your day, what you had for lunch, your favorite movie. Save it. Label it month 1. And promise yourself you'll come back to it in 60 days.
That recording is going to mean everything to you later, I promise.
Next time, we're going deep on something that genuinely blew my mind when I first learned about it. Why does your brain actually resist English words? Why do you forget things you've studied 100 times? There's a real neuroscience answer. It's surprising, it's a little bit humbling, and honestly, it changes everything about how you study. You don't want to miss it.
We'll see you then. Take care of yourselves.
And remember, silence is the opposite of fluency. Keep talking.